So my name is Helen, and I am a researcher based at the Institute for Pan-African Thought and Conversation at the University of Johannesburg. My research focus is on Africa-China relations, with a strong emphasis on the role of African agency in the relationship between Africa and China. When it comes to Africa-China relations, there has been a negative narrative that's been attached to the relationship between Africa and China, mainly because the West feel that the Chinese are putting many African countries into debt, which is something they've coined as the debt trap diplomacy in Africa. But there is a positive spin-off to the relationship between Africa and China, which can counter this negative narrative. China, for instance, has contributed a lot towards the development of many African countries. Yes, it is true that the Chinese give African countries money, but that money is tailored for development purposes. And usually it is focused on national development projects that the African countries have identified in their various national development plans. So the negative narrative of the debt trap diplomacy really doesn't hold water in the African space, because we find a lot of African countries asserting themselves in the relationship, in their various engagements with China. So it's not always about China dominating the agenda and dictating to African countries what they should do. Rather, it's an open space, a collaborative open space where Africans are given, or African countries and governments and their governments are given the opportunity to table their respective agendas to China, and China in turn supports those agendas by giving financial assistance for various projects. These range from infrastructure, healthcare, information technology, for instance, and also in the extractive industries, where China is involved, heavily involved in countries like the DRC and Angola as well.